In other news now, and several leaders of the Asia-Pacific economies are gathering in San Francisco for the APEC summit. All eyes are on the much-anticipated Biden-Xi meeting on the sidelines. The Chinese President Xi Jinping is in the U.S. on the eve of this high-stake meet. The last time he met with the President of America was in Bali for the G20 last year on the sidelines of that summit. Since then, the U.S.-China ties have seen several flare-ups. Amidst the tensions, both nations have not increased diplomatic efforts. A series of meetings have, however, taken place recently. The US and Chinese high-ranking officials met, and now finally the presidents are coming to the table to try and stabilize the relationship further. This is Xi Jinping's first US visit in 6 years. Biden says that the talks between the two leaders will seek to resume normal communication between the two superpowers.
To get back on a normal course of corresponding, being able to pick up the phone and talk to one another if there's a crisis, being able to make sure our military still have contact with one another. We can't take, as I told you, we're not trying to decouple from China, but what we're trying to do is change the relationship for the better.
High on Biden's priority list will be restoring military-to-military communication with China. The talks are also expected to be on Taiwan, the wars in Ukraine and West Asia, as well as discussions on trade and people-to-people ties. The meeting comes in the wake of the big chill in the relationship between the two nations. The chill has only become worse due to the more recent developments. The ties took a downturn after U.S. forces shot down what they allege to be a Chinese spy balloon over its skies in February this year. Then there is the issue of Taiwan, which has resulted in suspension of military ties between the two countries. China suspended communication after the former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan last year. China also expressed anger over the stopover in the U.S. by Taiwanese President Tsai Ing-wen earlier this year. Another point of friction between the two nations is the tech war. In the latest, the U.S. has tightened export controls to keep China from acquiring advanced computer chips. Beijing has also protested against the move. China's position, which is to assert its neutral position on the Russia-Ukraine war, has been criticized by the U.S. Ahead of the Xi-Biden meeting, several protesters have gathered in San Francisco. Some held signs that read "End CCP," the initials of the Chinese Communist Party, while others held Taiwanese and Tibetan flags. Several pro-China demonstrators have also gathered near the APEC summit venue.